Good morning, everybody. Happy February 28th. It's the last day of February. Not quite sure how that happened. I think yesterday it was the first day of February. So about 6 or 9 months ago, I'm not exactly sure when it was, but it was within the last 12 months or so, I saw this great post on Facebook by our very own, where is she? Mara Bisesto. And it was a picture of her at a concert, I think at Foxwoods or at Mohegan Sun or something. And the caption said, "Life is short. Just buy the damn concert tickets." I tell you what, Mara, that was you, right?
Yes, it was.
Indeed, indeed. And so just so you know, you never quite know who you're going to touch and whose life you're going to change by things that you say or do. I took that to heart, because we're just going to pretty much every concert there is on the planet right now because, hey, life is short. So let's go do it. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Awesome.
And on Friday night, Steve and I went to see Journey with Toto down on Long Island, someplace, wherever we were. So you got a selection from each. And what's interesting about each of those bands, but I'll focus in on Journey, is for those of you who remember Journey from like the late 70s and 80s, Steve Perry was their lead singer. Steve Perry has a very distinctive voice. Probably, if you had to take a vote, probably would be voted one of the top rock voices of that era. Certainly one of the top rock tenor voices of that era. And truly created a sound for Journey that without him seemed really hard to replicate, right? And for those of you who know the story, in 1996, Steve Perry woke up and said, "I don't want to do this anymore." And he left the band. And so that left the rest of the band kind of like, well, now what do we do, right? And so the theme that we're going to get back to a little bit later on is rolling with the punches, right? And figuring it out when things don't go your way. So I'll leave the story hanging right there. For those of you who don't know it, please do come back, because there is definitely a moral to the end of that story. But let's do a couple of things first. I want to run through some calendar items and then throw it to Fiona just for a moment, and then come back to our main topic. Today, 11 o'clock, right here in this room, the Shift Book Club starts. As most of you know, we have gone through the MREA and we have gone through The One Thing in the first 2 months of the year. We are banging these books out like crazy. So we are starting Shift today at 11 o'clock, the first 48 pages. If you've read the first 48 pages, do join us at 11. We're going to have a cool discussion around it. If you haven't read the first 48 pages, join us at 11. And just kind of be a fly on the wall to see what we do and what we talk about, so you can catch up on those 48 pages for next week. And then today at 1 o'clock, really important, make sure you mark your calendars, the Family Reunion Mastermind. And so what that is all about is those of us who attended either in person or virtually are going to get together to kind of share ideas and share the cool things we learned. If you were not a part of that, please do join us anyway, so that you can be a fly on the wall and listen to those ideas. We're all about action this afternoon. We're all about, we're going to save the, I loved it for, we're just going to assume that you loved it, right? We're going to get right down to action points. What are we doing from the information that we learned in Orlando, so that we can continue to grow our businesses? So that's today at 1 o'clock. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, you saw I pushed something out. There's a tax thing that CTR is producing, Bradford Tax, I think. I got a lot of feedback from many of you, Linda Dunsmore, Len Schwartz. I think there was 1 or 2 others of you who said that you had taken that course the last time it was offered, and it was awesome. So if you're not planning on joining tomorrow, I encourage you, go back and find that email I sent out on Friday, I think, and register, because it's not here in this Zoom room. It's something being produced by somebody else, but I heard really great things about it. That's 10 to 12:30 tomorrow. This Thursday, March the 3rd, we have 2 things going on. Donna Gilbert's going to tell you about the first one at 12:30. Donna, go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, this Thursday at 12:30 and every Thursday from then on, the Productivity Committee is going to be bringing you the 30 minutes in your week that you cannot miss. The first one is a two-parter. Please be there. And if I could just share two other things, you didn't give me permission, but I'm just going to ask for forgiveness. On Monday, the 7th at 1 o'clock, RPR. I'll put the links. It's the full 2-hour class. Come join, be part of it. It's free. Links will be in the KW 203 Facebook page. And then talking about the Shift book, there is a company-wide seminar workshop that's going to be going on the 9th and the 10th. It is free. Again, I'll put the links in. We're going to do a deep dive. It's going to be from, I think it's 1 to 5. 1 to 4, something like that. Anyhow, I'll put the information up. All of those things are really, really unique and interesting. There you go.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Donna. You covered the March 7th, which is great. Thank you for that. And the other thing happening on the 10th, just to remind you, is that we do have from 9:30 to 12:30 a CE class that is being donated by Tiger Inspections. I think the topic is the top 3 environmental issues facing all of us today in the real estate industry. So that promises to be hot stuff and good information for you to have under your belt to be able to help buyers and sellers navigate through that. The cost is $20. The full cost of that course for your CE will be donated to KW Cares. It is a Zoom class, so you don't have to come into the office. There are opportunities for you. I know Marlon got something out on Friday. He'll push something out again today to get you registered for that. So do take advantage of that. We're excited for all of that. Lots of awesome stuff happening. My goodness, can't keep up. All righty. Where is my friend Fiona Porter? There she is. Fiona, talk to us a little bit about what's going on in the world and how we can help change that.
Yeah, so I'll do my best not to get emotional about this. It's been a very, very tough time for the people of Ukraine. And well, I'm in very close contact with a lot of people there, and it's just so tragic. They really, really need your help, and they're just doing their best to fight, as you know, just for their freedom. And in the last 24 hours, they've raised $3.5 million. And they need help. If you don't have money, just please share. There's going to be something coming out, from Steve or Carlos, and it's a link. And just anyone that can help, please do. It's just many friends who have parents that, they're living, well, we don't know if they're living anymore. It's just terrible. And I'd be so grateful if you could share, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Fiona. We appreciate that. Anna Holinsky, Anna, go ahead, Anna.
Well, I want to mention that I mean, my brother right now in an area where as the occupant, they don't have food. But what I want to say that I actually have a direct person that if I know a lot of, I mean, in my concern as well, that if we'll send money, it will go in the pockets. It will not directly to the people who needs, but they have a list of whatever they need. So if you want just buy supplies, like everything what you can find in a pharmacy, bandages, etc., that will be helpful. And I mean, I can pick up and drop off, or I can give you contact information, whatever is comfortable for you. But I do have resources, and of course I am in touch with the people, volunteers who send into Poland, and from Poland they directly send to Ukraine because the borders are closed. Only from Poland we have a contact with Ukraine government.
Excellent.
Thank you for opportunity.
Just to mention briefly, it's the National Bank of Ukraine that I'm dealing directly with, and they're getting medicine, supplies, provisions, and logistics to people. So 100% of the money that will be donated is going directly to some of the people on the ground as well. So it's not like donating to the Red Cross or something like that.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, thank you, ladies, because it's an important scenario, and let me just get us back here. If at all possible, we can make a dent and help in any way we can. We're going to get you links for financial donations. We'll be in touch again with Anna for additional versions of sending help. Fiona and Anna, thank you so much for coming on this morning and directing us all to how we can assist in this scenario. And Anna, of course, I know you have family there, and so we're keeping them in our thoughts and hope that they are staying safe. So do watch for more information on that. Thank you, ladies, this morning for that. So I was, as many of you maybe know, when I'm on the telephone, so it's a weird pivot away from a humanitarian crisis in Europe to where I wanted to go this morning, and yet I will certainly do my damnedest on that. As many of you who have maybe seen me on the telephone, I'm a wanderer, right? When I'm on the phone, I like to pace and I like to wander around. And last week on Friday, I was on the phone and wandering kind of throughout the office, maybe annoyingly so to some. I apologize if it was annoying, but I was wandering through the office, and I ended up in Chris DiBiase's office, kind of staring out the window on the telephone, looking at Main Street. And as I turned to leave the office, I saw that a book that he had purchased for me about a year ago called 10X Quotes, which is by Grant Cardone, was open on his desk. And so I walked over and I looked at what it was open to. And the page it was open to is this. I don't know if you can read that. It says, normal is the most dangerous level of action that you can take. Normal is the most dangerous level of action that you can take. And I saw that on his desk and I thought, man, that is exactly how I feel after coming back from Orlando and spending 4 or 5 days with our colleagues and with top people around the country and top minds in our industry. And I couldn't quite put my finger on it until I saw that open on Chris's desk. So thank you, Chris, for keeping that open on your desk, because it kind of got my brain going to so what does that actually mean, right? Normal is the most dangerous level of action that you can take. And my thought process boiled down to kind of 3 things, right? Who is that talking about? And the answer, of course, is you, right? Who has to take action? Well, you have to take action. It's not about waking up saying, gee, I wish everybody else would take some action so my world would change. Right? It focuses right in on you. You've got to take that on yourself. And it then moved me to the when, right? The when is just about now, right? Waiting around doesn't really move you forward. There's a level of urgency that needs to come forward and begin to dictate your actions, right? Are you waking up in the morning with a level of urgency? Because remember, there are 2 ways to look at your day. Your week, your month, your year, right? The first is that you have plenty of time. No worries, it'll all get done. Let's keep plodding forward. The second is to wake up and have that urgency confront you. That time is kind of ticking away and that you have to create some version of urgency that pushes you, that pushes not just your thoughts, but pushes you to act. And then I was thinking about the what. And the what for me is what got you here won't get you there. Right? The actions that you need to take are those that push you into new, different directions, which in turn will deliver you new, different results. You can't expect different results by doing the same things that you've been doing over and over again, right? There's a phrase that comes to mind about that, about insanity or some version of that, right? And so to just kind of tie this all together today with where we started and what Fiona and Anna talked with us about, think about it this way. Normal is the most dangerous level of action that you can take. If you ignore the fact that our industry is continuing to change and just continue to do the things that we used to do to create what we used to create, you're in trouble, right? When Steve Perry left Journey, that left the rest of them, right? Neil Schon is the lead guitarist there and kind of the founder of that entire group back in 1977. It left Neil Schon kind of saying, well, now what do we do? Our entire business model just walked out the door because people know Journey based on Steve Perry's voice. And they spent a decade, 10 years trying to figure that out until YouTube saved them. Because for those of you who know how that story ends, Neil Schon found on YouTube a guy named Arnel Pineda. Arnel Pineda is a cover band singer from the Philippines who, if you close your eyes, sounds exactly like Steve Perry, much to Steve Perry's chagrin, I think. He's got an amazing voice. And so 15 years ago, Journey hired Arnel Pineda to replace Steve Perry, and we're kind of reborn. Because now when you go see Journey in concert, except that the guy leading the band looks a little bit different than Steve Perry looked, if you close your eyes, they sound the same. And what's awesome is that what Arnel Pineda has now been able to do is take all of that back catalog and make it his own. So that it's not Arnel Pineda singing Steve Perry in Journey. It's Arnel Pineda leading as the front man of Journey. And so what's the point? The point is everybody got on purpose when things went sideways. Everybody got on purpose when things started to change, to figure out what we do next to continue to grow, to continue to move forward. In a humanitarian crisis, like what's being put on the table right now in the Ukraine, normal is the most dangerous level of action you can take. Because it's not a normal scenario. It's not a normal situation. Urgency needs to be created. And it's my hope that what Fiona and Anna were able to do for us this morning is create a level of care and urgency in you to give, right? To help, to do what we can from where we are. I said to Steve Saturday morning when we woke up, I said, God, you know what? I can't help but think waking up Saturday morning after going to see a concert on Friday night, going out to eat, going to a concert, coming home, waking up in the morning, running, having a breakfast, going out to Costco, doing the things that our normal lives call upon us to do is a luxury that the Ukrainians did not have on Saturday, right? And it was a stark contrast to the world that I was living in. And so again, normal is the most dangerous level of action that you can take. So let's challenge ourselves today to not take normal levels of action around any of it, around our businesses, around our relationships, around our ability to give and help others. Let's take abnormal levels of action. Let's really push it so that we can live a day that creates results that not only change us, but change the world. Guys, I hope this was helpful to you this morning. We'll see you throughout the day. Have a great one today. God bless the people of the Ukraine, and we will see you soon. Love you guys.